Now I'm gonna wait for a second or so for him to get down, and once he's sitting, or yes, you can start the countdown. So it's gonna be a 3, 2, 1 Tetris for the first game here. You can see NEK0 starting TL for NEK0 for Tetris time as well into long bar, so you have the same seed. And yeah, double check the first couple of pieces to make sure that it's the same seed, because sometimes players make small mistakes, and as we're using Nessus gems, we can't see the seed they are using, and instead you have to rely on our memory of like 3 pieces. Because let's be honest, if 3 pieces are the same, then that's really unlikely. It's like every 350th seed would be the same. Like this, have the same 3 pieces, which in my opinion is unlikely enough to happen that the first 3 pieces are enough. And yeah, of course you also can see the route counter, so if you have like a 50 piece route on NEK0 side and no route on Tetristime side, then you would also see that we don't play the same seed. Also nice line spin here on NEK0 side, already showing us why 18 is actually quite a lot of fun when you are watching routers, because their routers can show us their full set of fancy moves. On 19 that's generally still possible, but level 29 is when most players just try to play safe, not go for most of the fancy moves. But yeah, in the meantime on Tetristime side we can see a bit of an overhang here, which will cause some burns and also not getting the J piece over. So now quite a lot of burns here for Tetristime to come up, and he's only starting on the first now. He also can't really afford to miss anything over to the right now. Let's see what he will do. Okay, nice double here now for Tetristime. Slowly but surely getting lower on the stack. Next double. Once one more L piece. Let's get the L piece here now for double. Perfect. And you can see that the route here at about the same time happening for these players. It looks like it's gonna be a long route. NEK0 also getting high here. Is open once again, but does have a bit harder bot to get burns in as Tetris in my opinion. But yeah, okay, long bar just came here on NEK0's side. NEK0 closed the well once again. We still have about a 1 Tetris lead here for Tetristime. So despite Tetristime here doing really long burns, it has been until now for NEK0 to get the lead due to the the route that we had in the early to mid 18. Yeah, now we have about a Tetris lead here for NEK0, while Tetristime is still trying to clean this up. This is a massive dig here for Tetristime. Also stopping the next blue J piece, blue S piece here from Tetristime. Only gonna be like 2 more burns, but yeah, these burns add up, and if you're already 2.5 Tetrises behind, that's not what you want to see, these small misdrops. But yeah, if you look at the Tetris rate, it's like 58 to 38, so neither of them having that amazing of an 18 Tetris rate here so far. So let's see what the second half of 18 will show us. Yeah, for now it looks like Tetristime is still gonna do some burning, but should be open kinda soon. In theory it's only like 4 to 5 pieces, like lines to get open. And yeah, luckily, in reality, that's also the case. Tetristime is now open once again. And 150k, no, 130k behind NEK0, which is like 6 Tetrises or so. It's like a 6 Tetris lead here for NEK0, if you take the line difference into consideration. NEK0 also showing us a bit of a fancy spin tuck setup here, like spin tucks. Just when you have to, yeah, spin and tuck the piece to get it into place. It's kind of self-explanatory in my opinion. 1 more Tetris here to NEK0. Tetristime now 7 Tetrises behind in points. Next Tetris to Tetristime. So as I said, it's just a massive lead here for NEK0. Like, yeah, he has to burn a few lines now that Tetristime doesn't have to burn, but the like 30-40 pieces that Tetristime had to burn in the beginning, if it wasn't more, it's just so much for Tetristime to catch up here now on 18, 19, but we can see he is doing a great job so far. We had like 150k earlier. Now it is down to 100k, but Tetristime once again is getting high here in the drought. 30 piece drought here so far. The second long drought in this game. And it looks like it's gonna be over 40. It's like a 40 piece drought here. Tetristime luckily getting a Tetris out of that. Showing us why his name is Tetristime. And only 5 lines more for the until the transition on Tetristime side. And 6 on NEK0 side. 6 also getting high and burning a few lines here. Tetristime is ready for Dirty Tetris once the final Dirty Tetris, but does get high on the left side, does get the Dirty Tetris perfect. Without that Dirty Tetris, it could have been quite a dangerous situation here for Tetristime. And we have about a 4 Tetris lead here, as I said, for NEK0 hasn't changed. 4.5 Tetrises, simul Tetris here, both players getting their own. Tetristime has played a few lines more, which means he is gonna get ahead in the levels, and due to that, the point lead will always be, will be skewed in his favor a bit here. And welcome to the chat Summer saying good luck, have fun, NEK0 and Tetristime. I'm sure that they are having a lot of fun here. Yeah, the luck hasn't been with them that nicely so far. We had 2 long droughts already, and Tetristime had to do like 40 pieces burning in the beginning, which was horrible. We can still see the 3.5, 4.5 Tetris difference here for Tetristime. Next Tetris here for Tetristime actually now going down to a 1.5 Tetris lead here. So was able to so far play nicely here on level 19 speeds. Now at the same lines, it's sadly up to a 3.5 Tetris lead, 100k once again here. With a few small burns here at the top of Tetristime. Getting the next bar in Tetris. NEK0 in the meantime staying clean. We can see the drought counter 25, 26 still ticking here on NEK0's side. And yet was a 30 piece drought here that both had to survive once again. So the third 30 plus piece drought in this seed. Yeah, maybe a seed reroll after this game is gonna be a nice change for these players. Maybe from a really droughty seed to a, let's say, more standard, more calm, more aggressive seed. And Tetristime getting a Dirty Tetris here, so does NEK0. On level 25, 769, 720, which means, okay, 80, 720, we have about an 80k lead here for NEK0. Next Tetris here for Tetristime. Tetristime burning a single here. Nice burn setup that was. NEK0 doesn't have to burn in the meantime. He's just playing as aggressive as possible. Next Tetris for both players here. Level 27. And yeah, less than an 80k point difference, which as we can see is only like a 2.5 Tetris difference. So this game is definitely still possible here for both players. And I assume will be decided on level 29. Let's see if Tetristime can show us enough level 29 action to fight longer and maybe take the game from NEK0 here. That would of course be an amazing opening here. Statistically speaking, I would say that yeah, it's gonna be tougher for Tetristime, but Tetristime is now in the level 29s, so is NEK0. Max out for NEK0, 944 here for Tetristime. We have about an 100k here currently for NEK0 lead, and Tetris here in the center well for Tetristime. Right, well, Tetris here for NEK0. Tetristime is also pretty much cleaned up at the bottom of the stack now. While NEK0, as we can see, is getting a bit higher here. Soon wants a longer for the right side or something else to burn. Okay, he does get a nice double here. Next triple for NEK0. NEK0 taking amazing burns. So we have another 20 piece drought here. 20 pieces is much better than what we had before. You can see these players here just, for now, surviving on level 29. It's 110k lead here for NEK0, and I would say Tetristime has to find a way to get a bit more aggressive here on level 29, and he does that. Got one Tetris in here, while NEK0 is actually getting quite high now. He needs pieces to burn. He gets some nice burns on the right side, left side, nice doubles here, and a few singles afterwards here for NEK0. Open once again, would be Tetris ready, waiting for the bar. Does get the bar. Next Tetris here to NEK0 into 1.18 against 1.15, down to a 30k point difference, which is less than Tetris now. So Tetristime managed to catch up quite nicely here on level 29 speeds is open once again. NEK0 is building a few lines here. Tetristime is currently, yeah, okay, he has cleaned up the hole. I wanted to say he is currently not able to go for Tetris due to the hole. Gets one more triple here, going for the safeties, which I kinda like, but now the lead is once again 2.5 Tetrises here for NEK0, 3.5 Tetrises, 100k lead here for NEK0. Next Tetris to Tetristime, Tetristime level 39. We're nearly finished with level 38, and on level 39 we have the double kill screen where the game gets double as fast as it is now, which is pretty much unplayable here for these players. Okay, Tetristime is now trying to play as aggressive as possible. Level 38 here for both players. We have a 17 piece sword. Next Tetris here to Tetristime. NEK0 is getting the double here. 1.5, half a Tetris lead here for NEK0. Only half a Tetris here. Tetristime can get one more single. Tetristime tops out at 1.4, while NEK0's half Tetris ahead gets the final Tetris and a 1.5 Tetris lead for NEK0. NEK0 taking the 1-0 in the first game. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. NEK0 started Tetristime. Also started JLJ. Gee, yes, it looks good once again. Perfect. Let's see how this game will go. Will there be as much adrenaline as in the first game? Or maybe will we be able to enjoy a bit of a calmer game now? I'm talking about calmness. Of course, today we have a lot of the matches coming up. Then tomorrow we also will have, I believe in total it was 3 super shows. It was like at 12 UTC, there's gonna be one more match between Chiller and Micey. Then at like 18 UTC again, we will have the kind of like the TNB Gold finals where one or two of them can get into CTL, and then a few more CTL matches, and then at like midnight, I believe, we have 3 more matches. So tomorrow we have 5, and today we have 5 matches, and tomorrow we're gonna have like 8 or so in total. So this weekend is packed with CTL Tetris action. Currently it is 185 against 138, so we have a 2.5 Tetris lead here for NEK0. Nun, a small mishap here on Tetristime side. Shouldn't escalate as much as in the first game, but yeah, let's see how this 18 will go, and if NEK0 once again can get ahead by that much. Tetristime now had to do a few lines, like a few burns, and we can see 208, 153, so it's a real 1.5 Tetris lead for NEK0. You can see a small drought here, much less than what we had in the first game. Only a 20 piece drought here that both players managed to survive nicely. Tetristime also going for the longbow dependency instead of Tetris here, while NEK0 is having a bit of a high center and low right side. And now I'm switching to trying to get into a Tetris position here. NEK0 is, and is Tetris already getting a bar, and Tetris to NEK0 at 303 now against 207. So we once again have a 4.5 Tetris lead here for NEK0. So NEK0 is, yeah, level 18 just so much more efficient here than Tetristime is. Makes you wonder if Tetristime, like today, has some 18 issues maybe, because in general, also nice simul Tetris, I would say that he should be much closer to NEK0 here. Yeah, let's see how the second half of 18 will go, as NEK0 now had to burn a few lines that Tetristime didn't have to burn, and we're now down to about, at that point, a 60k lead. Now NEK0's played 4 lines more, so yeah, it's like a 3.5 Tetris lead, 2.5 if we take the lines into consideration. Both players got one more Tetris, and now we're at the same lines and down to a 2.5 Tetris lead here for NEK0. Up to 3.5 now, and both players' techs are clean. showing us the aggression that 18 is able to deliver. NEK0 also getting the long bar fully over, missing that 5 tap here, which means he wants one more long bar, as he just got, to go over. Now going for the next Tetris here, yeah, Tetris 2, Tetristime, Tetris 2, NEK0 as well. 451, 391. So a pretty good pace here for NEK0. Tetristime is lacking by 2.5 Tetrises still. And wits for NEK0 here, as we're only 39 away from the transition of level 19. So the first speed increase will happen quite soon. NEK0 also getting the S-Spin here. Tetristime being a bit higher in the route here now. Getting the bar, and one more bar is fully open once again. And getting the next Tetris into 463 for Tetristime against 522 for NEK0, so we have about a 60k lead here now for Tetristime. Next bar to NEK0 and Tetristime. And yeah, we can see that these players are once again playing as aggressive as they can here in 18. Oh, and Tetristime is in a bit of cleanup now, a bit high here, but just get the pieces required. And bar for a Tetris. Few lines to clean up. In the meantime, NEK0 is staying clean, getting the next bar Tetris to NEK0. One last Tetris possible for both players, and we get a 620 transition for NEK0, so nice transition for NEK0. While Tetristime only getting a 545 transition, so we have like a 90k transition lead here for NEK0. Which once again is a pretty big lead. As we saw in the first game, catching up 100k is possible, but it's gonna be tough here for Tetristime, as NEK0 is, as you know, an amazing player. Next Tetris to Tetristime here. NEK0 is also getting the next Tetris here, now to 696 against 604. Oh, Tetristime already, and getting the Tetris as well. Having a J-piece dependency, but getting the J-piece exactly as I said that. And one more Tetris here to Tetristime. NEK0 just clean, building it up. And as we can see, pretty much ready now. Yeah, ready. While Tetristime is cleaning up, which allows NEK0 to build up, potentially at least, a pace lead here, or like a bigger lead. There we can now see NEK0 open, getting the J-piece for the J-piece dependency. And Tetristime now having a long body dependency on the left and right, getting the first bar, getting the second bar, nearly a simul Tetris here. Also, I love that Nesbus Champs has the simul Tetris support. It's, at least in my opinion, a nice addition. Especially because if you ask you can have like your own custom effects done by that. So for example, at CTWCDES in 2023, we implemented that if both players get a simul Tetris, we show the logo of our location, which was kind of also our main partner for the CTWCDES. Well, it is our main partner for the CTWCDES. Yeah, there we just had some fun, I would say, and showed it and stuff like that. I like how much flexibility there is, and Tetristime would love to get clean ASAP at this point. He is quite high once. The next J piece, okay, getting the O piece. Okie dokie. These burns are a bit tough here for Tetristime due to the height of the stack. Is now open, kinda low enough. Getting the Tetris, perfect Tetris here to NEK0, to Tetristime. NEK0 is quite high, wasn't able to go for Tetris. Point lead 958.45, which means you have about a 100k here lead for NEK0. As we know, level 27 on Tetristime side. Still, yeah, now level 27 on NEK0 side as well. On the bottom left, these are filled in. It's just a Nesbus Gems capture issue on specific levels, as we saw in our Tetris here to NEK0. NEK0 having the max out 1.04 for NEK0 against 8.6 for Tetristime, which means 180k lead here for Tetristime. Massive 6 Tetris, 5 Tetris lead here for NEK0. Next Tetris to NEK0 to level 29 at a 1.1 for NEK0. Kind of similar to what we had in the last game, I believe. Yeah, max out 1.1 here for NEK0, 930 transition here for Tetristime. Bit bigger lead here this time for NEK0. And let's see what Tetristime can show us here in terms of catch up. And let's see how much further ahead potentially NEK0 can get here. Oh, but yeah, Tetristime is just topping out here, having some misdrops on level 30, which means we have a 2-0 here for NEK0. So GG's to NEK for winning the second game in a row here. And we could soon get the first match over, as we next up will have our match point for NEK0. Again, NEK0 you have won, so feel free to top out. I'm also gonna ping the next game here in a 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Yeah, I mentioned a few events that are coming up. I believe we will also have 3 events this month, being CTW, like in-person events, being CTWC Detroit, CTWC Austria, and CTWC Washington. If I'm not fully mistaken. Which means if you are in one of these regions, like Detroit, Austria, and Washington, of course Detroit and Washington being the US states and Austria being the country here in Europe, then yeah, feel free to attend those events, as they are most likely gonna be a lot of fun, a ton of nice Tetris action. Yeah, just in general, I love that we have at least one event a month now. There's a few exceptions, but on average that's what it is like nowadays. And we can see NEK0 being a bit high, getting the bar, and Tetris here, and NEK0 once again in a massive lead here on 18. We're only 25 lines deep into the game. It's 118 for NEK0 against 19 here for Tetristime. So already about a 100k lead here for NEK0, but Tetristime getting a nice 30 Tetris here on the left side. So does NEK0 in the center here. NEK0 is open once again, trying to go for the next Tetris here, instead getting nice pieces for cleanup. Like he had the small overhang that he has now cleaned up. And next Tetris to Tetristime. Actually, if you take the lines into consideration, only like 1.5 to 2 Tetrises behind NEK0 here. So much better position than the points make it look like, I'd say, as he has played 6 lines less. So it's only like actually a Tetris and some change lead here for NEK0 in the bad P word. One more for Tetristime. Yeah, this once again appears to be a quite drought heavy seed. We had a couple of these 15 to 20 piece droughts. Of course, a drought is when you get a Tetris, when you don't get a long bar for longer than the 7 back, which means the first long bar falls, and then you have at least 13 pieces without a long bar. Then the drought counter starts to appear. That's because in modern Tetris we have the 7 back, and that the longest you can rate is 13 pieces, which means any longer than that is, yeah, a drought, as we call it. I believe Tetristime could have went for a Witz there, and he decided not to. Of course, the Witz is also a bit dangerous, because Witz vertical ITAC setup, meaning that you need to get an eyepiece, the long bar, to tuck it in there, so to push it over, and there's no other proper way to get a solution for that setup. But that means that you need 2 long bars, one for the Witz and then one more for the Tetris, which is oftentimes more than the players want to risk, and sometimes it's also exactly what players want to risk. There you can now see Tetristime action ready, and NEK0 also Tetris action ready, as we are Getting close to 100 lines here. We had 90 lines for both players, and we have a 40k lead here for NEK0. Tetristime burning a few lines here. Over tapping that T piece as well. So a bit of cleanup here for Tetristime, which knows NEK0 got a nice lead in. It is 440 for NEK0 against 358 here for Tetristime. Tetristime being open once again. And hoping to get as many Tetrises in as possible until level 19. And to maybe catch up a bit to the, what is it, 4.5? 3.5 Tetris lead here, I believe, for NEK0. Yeah, 3.5 Tetris lead for NEK0 currently. And one more Tetris to Tetristime here. We are at 509 against 432. Could get one more 600, like high 500k transition at least for NEK0. And let's see if maybe we can also get a bit of 500k at least for Tetristime. I want to say maybe we can now get some nice high scores for Tetristime as well. Tetristime once, well, has to win this game. If he doesn't manage to win this game, then we are gonna have a sweep for NEK0, meaning this is Tetristime's last chance to win at least one game against NEK0 and to not be out of the match, because we play the league format, so there's no out of the tournament. And next Tetris to Tetristime, 637, 582, about the same lines, which means Tetristime was able to already catch up a bit here. Now next Tetris here to Tetristime, and one to both players, 56k lead here to NEK0, only 2 Tetrises and some change lead. So yeah, Tetristime slowly but surely looking like he's managing to catch up here. And we're still only level 22, so we still have like 70 lines left to go here on level 19 speeds before we get to level 29. And let's see if then on level 29 if Tetristime can repeat his first game where he got to level 39 and despite a 360k transition managed to get a 1.47. Next Tetris to Tetristime. NEK0 needs to burn a line here, and Tetristime is happy about like every single that NEK0 has to burn. If NEK0 has to burn a single, then for Tetristime that means he potentially is now catching up because he has, if he doesn't have to burn them. There we can now see a small drought here which has forced Tetristime and NEK0 to burn a few lines here. So the lead is still at 1.5 Tetrises. Next Tetris to Tetristime, next Tetris to NEK0, 55, 56-ish. Of course the lead does get smaller in Tetris differences because the amount of points you get is multiplied by the level you're on. Oh, and a small misstep here for both players. Tetristime, I feel like it's gonna be cleaned up sooner than NEK0. And yeah, he definitely is because the board was easier to clean up, but NEK0 also is cleaned up now. Next Tetris to Tetristime, next Tetris to NEK0. We are at a 3-line difference and less than a Tetris lead here now for NEK0. Okay, Tetristime is Tetris ready, NEK0 Tetris ready, NEK0 burning a few lines here, same lines, less than a Tetris difference. So this could now be the chance here for Tetristime to... Oh no, Tetristime to close the well here, which means 3 lines to burn. Okay, NEK0 also has a small hole in the stack, meaning NEK0 will have to burn for some Tetrises here. Next Tetris to Tetristime, next Tetris to Tetristime once again. NEK0 now only getting the triple here. Oh, the hole was a capture issue, so no hole on NEKO's side. Okay, level 28 for NEK0, level 28 for Tetristime. Both players here on the final stretch of level 19 speeds. Double max out has already happened. NEK0 is getting a bit of troublesome board here, is open, getting the final Tetris. NEK0 transitions at 1.09. 109 transition for NEK0, 104 transition for Tetristime. 1.5 Tetris difference here. NEK0 in a much worse board set than Tetristime. Tetristime is potentially able to get ahead here. Let's see, but no, the Tetrises don't come in. Like longbars don't come in. Tetristime needs them. Okay, he got the longbar over here. He needs them to the right side, getting the longbar over perfect, getting a few burns in here on Tetristime's side. Oh, these burns here on Tetristime's side, so good burns, but he's getting higher. No, he... What? The heck? Okay. Okay. GG's from Tetristime. He didn't get the longbow of... Oh, the 7 seconds that Tetristime mentioned earlier, the game being behind. Yeah, okay. He was so confused when Tetristime got up and there was still game. He was like, oh no, and he's stopping out and then like, still playing. But yeah, this means NEK0 has been able to win this game and this match. He has managed to sweep here. And as Tetristime is saying, GG's NEK0, great games. These were great games that both of you managed to play nice 18-19 and showed us the first game. Also how good you are on level 29. And yeah, of course NEK0 also showing us just how good of a player he is in general here. Let's allow him the final game to be played out. Oh. Look at this. Trying to check for PP, but I'm too stupid to find the PP. Okay, perfect. Because I don't know how people are named the CT bot. But yeah, this is... Oh, such a nice score. But now in level 37, getting into issues here, level 28, level 38. Oh, that was so close to 1.6. One of the 1.6 here for NEK0. And as Vlad is saying, GG's. As NEK0 saying GG's. Now let's take a look at our... Well, okay, let's take as much of a look at our winner as we can. As you have a nice...
Before Dan at 124. ZL over. Beginning to see a way out of this here for Dan. Gets that bar to the left. This dig here is just making SV pad this lead even further. 190 to 132. Another Tetris for SV. Across 200,000 points. By the time Dan gets out of this, I would not be shocked if there's a 100,000 point lead. Close enough. It was 95,000. Round up, it's 100K, which means I'm right once again. I'm always right, except when I'm wrong. 188 for Dan, 240 for SV. All dig for SV here. Sets up a bar dependency, but probably okay with it, seeing that the very next piece of bar. I mean, and frankly, if you have a bar dependency, but the bar is in the next box, is it really a bar dependency? I say nay. Nice T-spin there. A nice burn of that T. I love those kinds of burns. They look so flashy. Dan has brought this lead that was almost 100,000 points down to just a single Tetris. Albeit mildly ahead in that line count, so... His lead for SV, as you can see now, about 2 Tetrises. He opts to spin in that Z versus tucking it there. Crossing the 100 line mark, the lead, I mean, it's about the same, about just under 2 Tetrises. Wow, the music got loud all of a sudden. You like the music, yada yada yada, Carl Casey, White Bat, blah 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 blah. Right? Gotta get that spiel out of the way. Who cares about the music? It is music. I can assure you, white bed audio is music. It might be music. Some might say it is, right? Dan taking the lead with that Tetris though. Again, that line count. Say otherwise. SV could spin tuck a J, and they're up line spin instead. Well, Dan sets up a dirty, gonna perfectly transfer the well back to column 10. Gets a quick Tetris there. Can't hear the music over Tyler's beautiful voice. I need a new mic soon. I really hate this mic. Player's also tied, by the way. Just want to point that out. 0 point difference right before transition. That was pretty cool, pretty nifty. Dan gonna transition 558. SV will transition with the next line clear, which will be a Tetris transitions at 581. AV Geek flew an airplane today. I mean, don't you like always fly an airplane? Isn't that like your thing? Like you go and learn how to fly an airplane? No, I know. Yeah, no, I know. I hate this microphone. I like complaining about complaining is like kind of my thing, and so like I needed to complain about something, and I decided to complain about my microphone because I don't like. It's all good. It's all good. I knew what you meant. And speaking of knowing what I meant, players know that I meant to give a score update but got distracted. 668, now 694 for Dan, 643 for SV. So this is actually like insanely close. Separated by 2 Tetris' worth of lines and 2 Tetris' worth of score. But SV with that little bit of a misdrop actually might give Dan the real-time lead. Or the pace lead, I should mutter. Now Dan in the dig. It's been 7 weeks since I last flew. Well. Welcome back to Airplane. 734 to 730. Dan with a messy board. Love a bar. Takes a nice double. Another bar dependency. SV now get into another situation too. Due to this drought. Unable to capitalize. Dan, a nice sequence of burns. And that bar for Dan gonna solve all his woes. And still came out of it with a lead, albeit small. 790 to 785. And with the Vits, opts to take the Tetris first. Smart decision. Now he's getting droughted because he set up a delayed Vits. Why wouldn't he get droughted? Finally gets the bar. And doesn't tuck it. It still works out. Gets a dirty Tetris. Transfers the wall. Gets a normal one. Jasmine disapproves. Says no, bro. It's uninvited from my birthday party. Another drought happening here at the end of 27. And gonna get a Tetris there. 968 into level 28. SV gonna burn into 28. 938. Holy crap, this is close. Dan gonna go into kill screen first at max out and 6,000 points. It's a quick Tetris there. 842. Set up for another. Gets a triple. Gets a Tetris B. Nope, not yet. Nope, math is hard. 888 for Dan. SV in a lot of trouble. Goes in the kill screen up so high. 979. Not much he can do here. So Dan is going to take in number 1. Dan will remind me, you don't gotta. I got the note written down. I got it written down. It says on my phone here, reroll. I'm setting it up right next to my computer. I can't miss it. 3, 2, 1 Tetris. Let's go. Looks like Dan was waiting for SV to start. You're not slick. I see you wanting that extra net. He's gonna miss it? I'm not gonna miss it. Not gonna miss it. I would take a picture of my setup right now, but I'm using my phone to remind myself, so I can't take a picture of my phone with my phone. Kind of just how it's kind of how it goes, you know. Dan gets the first Tetris. SV follows suit after taking a few burns. Simul Tetris for the second one. Why didn't the fun text pop up? That makes me sad. SV, though, will be the first one to cross 100,000 points. Dan not far behind. Take that lead back with the Tetris. Solidify it with that one. SV follows suit with a quick Tetris of his own. Tucks the T. Gonna be able to use this bar coming up that Dan wasn't able to for the Tetris. Gets another one to take the lead back. But shocker, Dan's gonna get a bar. It's gonna take the lead back again. You wouldn't believe this though. Tetris for SV takes the lead back again. How many times can I say this? The game. The answer is not very long because SV solidifies his lead. That Tetris goes up to 209 at 40 lines. Very solid pace to be at. And at 207.39. Also a pretty solid pace to be at. Nice JD spin. You'll love to see those. Oh, a missed spin. Kind of threw Dan off there. Now he's in a bit of a situation. He's hitting these quick rolls. And I honestly wouldn't say he's in all that much danger anymore. Yeah, I mean, opens that bar dependency. Then turns it to an L dependency. Gets the L, fills it in. I just need something for this whole triple flips the J. We're now experiencing a 30+ drought. You know, Seeds kind of got ruined for me, and it's all Javanti's fault. Because he has like this like computer program that like read through every seed ever. And the biggest drought is like 90 something. So we'll never see a drought world record in a seeded competition. At least Tetris gym seeded competition. That makes me sad. Like I always see the drought kind of go up, but I have no like excitement in my mind that we might see a world record. It makes me sad. Yeah, horrendous news. I think it's like 90 something. I want to say like 96, 97. But you'll never see a 100+ drought competition. What's drought world record at now? Harry Hong is 101. As far as I know. Okay, I'm glad stream didn't die. My computer screen just went black. I was like, wait, am I cooked? But I fixed it. I made it unblack, and now I can see Tetris again, and it's still going strong. That's what really matters here. 413 for Dan. 454 for SV. That's cursed knowledge. It should have remained a mystery. I mean, I agree with you, but since it's out there, I feel sad that I was one of the only to know about it, so I felt the need to bestow this cursed knowledge upon others. What else I'll bestow is that SV is on a solid game here. 524 at just 111 lines. Wait, Violet, how'd you qual? I didn't see your qual. 17 seeds like fire. .35, 1.15. Let's go. That's hype. Oh, but I have a misdrop there for SV. Uses that T piece quite well. And gets the board in order just in time as transition is looming. With the next line clear, it will be a Tetris. Transition's 582. I think that's the same exact transition he got last game. Maybe to the dot. 501 transition here for Dan. So kind of a similar situation to the last game. SV has a small lead, albeit this time a little bit bigger, I believe. We'll have to see what Dan does here. Oh wait, really? 200k apart up to the point? That's fire. Tetris for Dan. Simul Tetris actually. 711. 604. No guys, if I looked over at my opponent, they had 711, I'd take a big gulp. I'd be frightened. I'd be petrified. I'd take a big gulp. Can I get a haha in the chat? A lol maybe? Can I get an LUL? All caps? Thank you. That was a good joke in my opinion. It was pretty funny. 799 for SV, 692 for Dan. So SV actually bringing that lead up a little bit. Now 136, albeit SV now the one slightly ahead in the line count. For those of you who don't get it, 7-Eleven's drink is called a big gulp. So that was the joke. And I was referring to like when cartoon characters get scared, they do like a big gulp, you know? SV just has all of the same colored pieces. Wait, can someone make a ROM hack like this? I kind of like it, actually. Whereas all the pieces are white. That's kind of fire. Just like the different colored outlines. I would actually play on that ROM. I would. Hedge for SV, 950 into 25. Dan V, 842 into 25. So back still 4.5 Tetrises. My goodness. We haven't seen much kill screen play from SV yet. Last game had the board get into a bit of a fortunate situation right before kill screen. Didn't get to play all that much. We'll have to see what he can do, but maxes out into 26. Tyler, I don't have 7-Elevens where I live. See, that's why I explained the joke for you, non-Americans who don't have a 7-Eleven. I don't have one. I think the closest one to me is like 30 miles away, though. Dan V maxing out into 27. SV already at the 1.1. Could be seeing a 1.2 into here for SV. Maybe my nearest 7-Eleven is the friends we made along the way. It's true, yeah. SV at B87, about to enter kill screen with 2 more Tetrises, but they have to burn a line. Now at 229, any line clear will bring SV there. If he sets up or if he plays it safe. Dan at A79, get a Tetris to go to B14. SV goes in C23. Dan goes in B50. To back about 87,000 points. He's setting up for a Tetris. Wasn't able to use that bar. But can use another one if he gets it. Gets it. Simul Tetris on kill screen. B97 to C91. But another Tetris for Dan. Going to bring him to 1, 2, 3, 4. SV crosses 1.3. Another Tetris to go to D46. And at C40, starting to get a bit of a drought here, but set up and gets a bar for the Tetris. C79. D49. A small dig, but opens it up quickly. Set up for another Tetris. Gets a bar for it. Goes to D96. Bring a 1.4 here, but Dan is catching up only back at Tetris and a half. D34. There's trading Tetrises. E82 for SV. And he said his pads are bad. Okay, but a bit of a dependent board starting to form here for SV. That's up for a Tetris, but has a J dependency. He gets the J over. Fills in that bar dependency in the middle. But Dan now with a bit of a messy board. Tetris for SV, F53. Dan crossing 1.4. E09. Battle of the Brits. Tetris for SV for the rollover at 36. Another one. This is going to be really hard for Dan to catch up if SV continues this all the way. Well, if SV continues this, I mean, it's going to be impossible. Needs some kind of slowdown. That might be what SV is happening. It's happening to SV right now. 1.667 for SV. F67 for Dan. But SV's board is falling apart. Gets that bar over, but not much he can do. And SV tops out at 1.675. Dan, you need 1.676, but not going to be able to. Tops out at F50 or F71. We have 2 readies here, so we're gonna start game number 3. Dude, I hate Wipeout. This music sucks. This music's not good. Changing the playlist, maybe it'll be a little better. I mean, oh, this is gonna be on YouTube. This music's really good, guys. You guys should go to Whitebed Audio by Carl Casey and listen to it. Very good stuff. Both players tied. Can you believe it? My gosh. They're going to take a couple of burns here to kind of get rid of that tied score. We'll take a lead. Oh my gosh. Like 1,500 points.